Hi, my name is Ramona Moreno Winner, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you my newest book titled The Wooden Bowl.m4v. This is a story about a grandfather who goes to live with his son, his daughter-in-law, and their young grandson Diego. The young boy is thrilled to have his grandfather join them, and he finds that he has a lot in common with his grandfather. Adding the grandfather to the family puts stress on the adults, and when they start taking their frustration out on the grandfather, Diego does something that teaches his parents a lesson on patience and respect. This is a fantastic, inspirational story for all generations, and I hope you enjoy The Wooden Bowl as much as I do.
The Wooden Bowl, el bowl de madera. Before my grandfather came to live with us, I was the one who would get blamed for leaving the toilet seat up, for scattering crumbs around the table when I ate, and for emitting loud sounds that make the air smelly. But since grandfather came, I now have a friend and partner in crime. Antes de que mi abuelo viniera a vivir con nosotros, a mí me culpaban por dejar levantado el asiento del excusado, llenar la mesa de migajas al comer, y por imitar fuertes sonidos que dejan el aire apestoso. Pero ahora, desde que llegó mi abuelo, tengo un amigo y cómplice. Grandfather is very old, his hands tremble a lot, and he can't see very well. He moves kind of slow, and he can't hurry to dinner like I can when Mom calls out. The story goes on to talk about what happens at the dinner table. Diego tries not to notice when grandfather spills his milk or when his spoon shakes so hard in his hands that his food drops around his plate and onto the floor. He knows grandfather does not do these things on purpose because the same thing happens to him at times. Caring for grandfather has become very stressful for Diego's mother and father. One evening, I noticed a small table set in the corner of the dining room. When we came for dinner, Dad put grandfather at the small table where grandfather sat and ate dinner alone. Mom and Dad would look over at the table whenever they heard his fork fall or his glass tip over or a plate break. Although they would help him, they would huff a lot and say things like, "Now what?" One day at dinner, I saw Mom serve grandfather his dinner in a large wooden bowl. I asked, "Why is grandfather eating out of a big bowl? Why can't he eat at the table with us?" Diego's dad says it's because grandfather was messy and broke too many dishes. Both Diego and grandfather were very sad with the current arrangement. The next day, when my parents went out after dinner, I found some long, thin wood scraps in the garage, and I brought them into the living room with a glue stick and some tape. I began forming them into round circles, thinking I would glue them together. Later, when Mom and Dad came home, Mom asked, "What are you making, Diego?" I said, "I'm making wooden bowls for you and Dad to eat your food when I grow up." As I looked into their faces, they were without words. Tears streamed down their cheeks. Although no words were spoken, both Mom and Dad knew what they must do. They would never want to be treated as they were treating grandfather. Thereafter, grandfather joined the family at the dining table for all of his meals. At the back of the book is a lesson plan and a vocabulary quiz in both English and Spanish. As a special treat, we also included picture frames where children can add photos of their own grandparents.